Please be seated, everyone. Am I permitted to go off script and just say, what a beautiful sight you are? So, yeah, let's... Welcome. I just want to say truly welcome, each and every one of you. It is amazing to be in your bodily company. I mean, just look around and kind of take it in for a moment. It feels incredible. We're thrilled that you're here. But who are we that are thrilled? What is this school for cultural and social transformation? Anyone here may still be asking that question as the school is about to turn 5 years old. Well, I've been saying, and I still believe it, if you take the coolest dance troupe, wed it to a protest, link it to a book club that reads the hippest books, and make it sing with fiery joy, a joy that breaks barriers, confronts institutions, soothes wounds, cracks jokes, dresses rad, and calls things what they are. You have transformed. The School for Cultural and Social Transformation. It's as if galactic performer Beyonce and political leader Cesar Chavez and race-sex comedian Margaret Cho and trans disability theorist Eli Clare and indigenous lands activist LaDonna Brave Bull Allard with immigration activist Marissa Franco and author Oscar Wilde all got together and had a brainchild. We are it. And together, we gather. Now you might be saying, yikes, the dean misspoke. She meant to say gather, but instead said gether. No, I mean it. Gether is a word I wish to coin. I want it as a verb. To gether shall mean to sense and acknowledged unperceived gatherings. I don't know about you, but I'm sick of the phrase, we're in this together. It's a throwaway platitude. Togetherness is not yet earned in many settings. I want the verb to gether to carry true edge. Now, there's something we say whenever we gather so as to gather indigenous gatherings. Listen as I share the University of Utah's land acknowledgement, which needs to be a living, moving gathering on which we all will act. We as a university state, and I'm grateful that we do, given that the Salt Lake Valley has always been a gathering place for indigenous peoples, we acknowledge that this land, which is named for the Ute tribe, is the traditional and ancestral homelands of the Shoshone, Paiute, Goshute, and Ute tribes, and is a crossroad for indigenous people. I give a shortened version so we really will receive it. This has always been the place of indigenous gathering, and it is a crossroad at this very moment. What would it mean to gather this point? Here's one suggestion. Join, or at least gain understanding of land back initiatives. Professor Charles Sepulveda, Professor Thomas Swenson, two transformed professors, are experts in our midst. Read their work. This would be one powerful way to sense and acknowledge and act on these often unperceived gatherings on this land. But unperceived by whom? How can such powerful world-shaping gatherings go unnoticed by anyone standing on this exact land? Well, how could anyone say last summer, I just didn't realize what Black people go through living in this country? Think of what it took, what had to be seen to get a mass of people in this country to notice. It took a murder caught on camera by a steady young woman, her one phone holding all that pain, so as to return it to George Floyd's family and the nation at large. And on other fronts, it took Me Too flowing in to say her name. It took spa deaths, kids in cages, islands sinking, and trans kids banned from kindergarten sports. Our country's ability not to gather, not to perceive what has long been gathering, is the greatest shock. And there's still the tendency to think that acknowledgement doesn't have to touch me, which leads me to the virus. What did it reveal? It lit up all the pathways to and from each other. Not that we could see them, if we were sighted people. We couldn't see the virus entering someone's body, but we knew profoundly that even glancing contact with another body could dramatically alter our fate, or through us, alter someone else's fate. Imagine if we could contact trace the effects of racist, or sexist, or ableist, or queerphobic acts against one body in relation to another. Imagine if you really could grasp how hate or embrace shown towards someone you momentarily encounter is affecting you or passing through you to affect another. The virus has revealed how we're wildly webbed with each other's bodies. Health policies at the structural level and the lowly mask acknowledge this webbing. The space between us is a mystical, material place of gathering where we are not solely ourselves. So much so that even our own deepest emotions are gathered by others and returned to us. Now, what do I mean? Here's a line from the novelist Marguerite Duras. Inside you, there are sobs you can't explain. They linger on the brink of you as if they were outside. They can't reach you and be wept. I began to grasp this line 1 year ago, yesterday, when my father died COVID positive in the hospital. Like so many other people in this country with whom I am webbed, I could not be with him, nor could my mother, and I couldn't be with her. People who were not my bio family stood at the brink of me, gathering my sobs, which I couldn't fully fathom. It was like having someone hold my heart so it could go back inside me. Let me end by saying, like you, our highly impressive students, we are devoted to learning together, to sense and acknowledge often unperceived gatherings on this land, in our skins, through our sex and our genderings. Entire systems sit in this strange space between us. They sit on the little ant-like words that carry systems and powerfully confound us. We know these words: man, woman, black, white, Latinx, disabled, undocumented, queer, trans, Pacific Islander, Indigenous, and Asian American. We will spend our lives learning to gather all that must be returned to each other, differentially and with all due acknowledgement. Land back is one powerful example. Study it, open it, see what it might mean, and act upon it. You may already have. And turn this dynamic strongly toward the positive. Our dear students, let those of us outside of you, at your brink, be part of returning what you've gathered here to you. We literally gather in your names. We adore you, class of 2020 and 2021. Let's all applaud this happy day. And now I give you the vibrant, the inspiring Sierra Holmes, our student speaker.
Well, first, thank you. My start in Transform began when I unknowingly took a class that would change my life. I had signed up for Kilo's and Mora's Intro to Gender Studies, and I only took it in the summer to catch up on credits. I went into the class not knowing what to expect because I had not a clue about gender theory, queer theory, feminist theory, or really any theory. At the time, I was a STEM major, and I remember Kilo's teaching methods feeling like a breath of fresh air. I had just failed my first math class. I needed something easy that made sense to me so I could boost my confidence before I jumped into my even more math-intensive classes. Kilo's class was definitely not easy. I found myself exploring topics that required every crevice of my brain to dissect, but I realized I actually had a connection with them because I wasn't just dissecting tedious problems. I was dissecting complex, fascinating human interaction and development. I was dissecting real life. My advisor, Jen, came in mid-semester, and she felt like the biggest yes you can that I had ever heard. So about 1 month into studying something I had never heard of, I was now a double major in atmospheric science and gender studies. From there, Transform became the place where I could be critical of everyday processes. I could question whether the mundane actually made sense. I could ask, how do we make this better for everyone? It's a place for the people who have looked around and been angered by the hurt of the world, the injustices. The place where we've been able to determine that we don't like what's been placed upon us and have decided to pull and stretch the boxes until they fit just right, and then pull and stretch a little bit more so that we can make room for everyone else. Transform is a home for the boundary pushers and the visionaries. Transform is a place where my fellow boundary pushers and I have come to learn new tools for asking questions and demanding answers. Here, we've learned that if we don't like the answers given, we can demand and create new ones for our communities. Transform has taught us how to reflect on the past while bringing inspirations forward, how to support those asking the important questions now, and how to become those people ourselves. We've learned how to be critical in the name of forging new pathways, and we've learned the importance of carrying the fighters, lovers, and thinkers of the past with us. Transform is the safe space to envision, explore, and get angry. Transform recognizes our anger as passion and teaches the tools to turn passion into organizing and activism. Transform gives us the space to lean on and learn from each other. We've all had a hand in shaping each other's education. Transform for me has been a place of self-discovery, and it's been a landing place for when I fail. I've had the privilege of spending the last 4 years soaking in all the knowledge that my peers and professors would allow. I am forever grateful for even a speck of everyone's time here and all that I've gained from being in your presence. Thank you for being part of my community and for allowing me to be a part of yours. I am in awe of our resilience over the past year and onward. Thank you for your confidence in me and for being part of my journey. You've all shown me what it means to be a change maker, and for that I can say I'm a proud graduated Transform member today. My only hope going forward is that we continue to hold each other in times of sadness and grief and stand with each other in the fight for the future and the present that we've spent the last 4 years envisioning and working toward. Again, thank you for being my community, and here's to the fight for a world where pain is not synonymous with any regular day, a world where everyone can live lives full of radical love and abundance, and a world where our visions and fights come into fruition.
Hello, Transform. I need to get unhooked here for a minute. Thank you, Sierra. I just want to echo Dean Stockton's comments too, that this is really a beautiful sight to be held, and I can't wait till you graduates get up here and can look out and see this view. So I'm going to begin with a couple quotes. The future is neither an uncritical embrace of the past, nor a singular conception of what lies ahead. It's ours for the imagining. Alondra Nelson. With whom do we do this work? The theoretical here is immediately practical. Maria Lugones. These quotes focus the meaning of our gathering today. My name is Wanda Sue Pillow, and I am honored to speak as Professor and Chair of Gender Studies. As graduates of the School for Social and Cultural Transformation, you have each committed to reimagining futures by engaging with intense coursework in ethnic, disability, gender, and Pacific Island studies. You have read about and analyzed the implications of race, gender, sexuality, class, colonialism, and status, learned about formations and experiences of identities, structures of dispossession, technologies of power, critiques of purity logics, ableism, patriarchy, and whiteness, and studied equality, equity, and accessibility. With whom do we do this work? Lugonis's question is key to every Transform course. We utilize the strong analytics of race, gender, sexuality, disability, decolonial, abolitionist, queer, and crypt theories. We learn about micro and macro aggressions, study social movements, and read and reread women of color, Chicana, indigenous, and Black feminisms. With whom do we do this work? We do it relationally. You have learned to move theory into praxis in Zoom meetings, diversity scholars, university and community partnerships, gender justice scholars, Gender on the Hill, the Utah Prison Education Program, and in course papers, projects, podcasts, zines, digital technologies, and performances. We have gained inspiration from theorists who push us to imagine otherwise, and activist scholars who remind us that first, this work is our responsibility, and second, as Pat Parker notes, revolution is not neat or pretty or quick. It is a long, dirty process. Perhaps at no other time in your educational career have your studies mattered more. The COVID-19 pandemic has changed the world. However, a call to return to normal is not our goal. Disparities in infrastructure, housing, clean water, food stability, medical and education access, safety from state violence, including separation of children from families and the killing of Black and brown persons by state-sanctioned police, have come into heightened view during a global pandemic. Yet these disparities were not caused by a virus. These injustices are pre-existing conditions. Perhaps like myself, you chose to study ethnic, disability, gender, or Pacific Island studies because you've witnessed disparities, violences, and also resistances. Perhaps you've been repeatedly told you don't fit, or perhaps you are here because you see injustice and feel a call to participate in and lead change. With whom do we do this work? Transform was created out of this question. The school is a vision and an honoring of interdisciplinarity, intersectionality, and recognition that who we do our work with matters. So what is a degree in gender studies, ethnic studies? What is a degree or certificate in Transform? It is learning the analytics to understand and change the world. It is learning and practicing how to be in relation with each other differently. It is learning how to survive and intervene in a world that is not making sense or is telling us we just don't belong. And as Transform students, you have learned that this work is needed everywhere. Graduates of 2020 and 2021, thank you for committing to transformational change. You completed coursework and assignments under extraordinary circumstances and harsh, harsh conditions. The fact that you are here today is a reason to celebrate and honor each and every one of you. And we are here to commend and celebrate you. The faculty and schools see you, are here for you, and support wherever you choose to take the work. Dr. Edmund Fong's 2019 graduation comments ring true today, and I repeat them here. When you soar, so we will sing, however impossibly high the notes may be. And when you struggle, we will embrace you, so that you may rekindle your resolve and your desire. And if you are lost, we will be here to gather you. Remember your peers, your readings, your theories, your faculty, your familias, your communities, and do your work with acts of festive joy and resistance. A degree or certificate in Transform is absolutely an act of transformational resistance and reimagining. And the world needs the analytics, relationality, and praxis you have studied and enacted. You are each ready to move toward futures we not only imagine, but need, and we are ready to live in that future as the present. Claim that knowledge and space when you walk across the stage this evening. And congratulations, Transform graduating classes of 2020 and 2021. We are turning it back over to Dean Stockton.
Thank you, Dr. Pillow and Sierra, so much. Yes, you may have your mask. Now, graduates, I want you to start getting your juices flowing, all right? You're going to have another minute or two to gather your excitement, because I want to call our collective attention at this moment to the award section of your printed program. So if you wouldn't mind pulling that up for a moment. We are going to acknowledge our award winners from 2020 and 2021. So award winners, as I call your name, please stand. And audience, if you wouldn't mind holding your applause until the end, that would be great. All right, these are the 2020 awards. The University of Utah, University-Wide Distinguished Teaching Award, Matt Basso, if you would stand. Ella Myers, the College of Social and Behavioral Science Superior Teaching Award. Dr. William Smith, who can't be with us today, he's actually finishing a project with his students, you'll hear his name later, last year won the University-Wide Graduate School Distinguished Mentor of the Year. And we want to recognize our 2020 Outstanding Undergraduate Research Awards, Christine Workman Martinez, who is an ethnic studies major and sociology major, and Shania Morningstar Chi, who is an anthropology major and American Indian Studies minor. Those were the awards for 2020, so please can we have a round of applause? And now for the 2021 awards. I'm very excited to begin with this first one, and there's actually an object to go with this one. We are this year awarding the inaugural Transformative Teaching Award, and we're very excited that it goes to Kim Hackford-Peer, the Associate Chair of Gender Studies. So Kim, come on forward. You're going to get an object and an elbow bump. All right. Yes, right. Don't drop it. Our next award also comes with an object, and it goes to our very own Dr. Wanda Pillow. She is also the University-Wide Graduate School Distinguished Mentor of the Year. So Transform won that award 2 years in a row and is a really important award. So Dr. Pillow, would you come forward and receive your beautiful object and elbow bump? Now, our beloved Dr. William Smith, if he were here, I would be very excited to elbow bump with him. He is receiving the University-Wide University of Utah Distinguished Scholarly and Creative Research Award, the top scholarly award that the university offers this year. Now, if you know Dr. Smith, you know he's an internationally renowned scholar on his work on racial battle fatigue. And I also want to recognize him for his tireless, crucial work over the years supporting Black faculty, staff, and students. So Dr. William Smith would have been among us, and we celebrate him today. Jen Wozab is receiving the UAC Outstanding Academic Advising Award. Jen, will you stand? Oh, Jen, where's Jen? Oh, Jen is over there. Sorry, shift left. Jen there. We also have our Outstanding Undergraduate Research Awards going to Chloe Butler, who's a Gender Studies major and Health, Society, and Policy major. Chloe, if you're here, please stand. And Angela Pham, a Gender Studies major, Psychology major, and Ethnic Studies minor. So those are our undergraduate awards. And one last award that is not in your program, Dr. Anna Antunes. Did I see Anna? If Anna's here, stand, Anna. All right. Anna has won, so Anna teaches for the Division of Gender Studies. She has won the 2020-2021 Faculty Teaching Award for Innovation in General Education. A big dang deal. So we celebrate her as well. Please now, a round of applause for everybody. Those were this year's winners for 2021. All right, graduates, now start getting ready. As I say in my commencement call out, tomorrow night, will the sly, scintillating, worth our perseverating, always cool cogitating, apathy obliterating activist candidates from the School for Cultural and Social Transformation rise and be recognized. Please stand, graduates. Now, to put it more plainly, in just a moment, you're going to proceed to the stage for the awarding of degrees. But before you do, I want everyone else to notice that we do have some open space over here, or is the open space going to be there? I'm not quite sure which side. Anybody want to tell me which side that's going to be? At any rate, yeah, it's going to be here where Jen is waving, all right? We've left that empty so that if you want to use those seats to take a picture of your graduate as they cross the stage, please do, and then return to your original seat. And that's going to allow everybody a great photo opportunity. So graduates, do come forward.
Sierra holds Gender Studies, Ethnic Studies, and a minor in Political Science.
Juliet Herrera, Ethnic Studies.
Brooke Adams, Ethnic Studies.
Belinda Hernandez, Ethnic Studies. And Psychology.
Talia Dixon, HBFA in Modern Dance, and a minor in American Indian Studies.
Lou Rugner, Gender Studies, and a minor in Music Tech.
Mars Jacobson, Gender Studies, and a minor in Computer Science.
Kaylee Gardner, double major in English and Gender Studies.
fields, anthropology and gender studies.
Aiden Moore, double major in political science and international politics with a minor in gender studies.
Castellanos, gender studies with a minor in ethnic studies and political science.
Mandy Tran, ethnic studies BS, family, community, and human development bachelor's, and a psychology minor.
Annie Louise Holbrook, anthropology major with minors in history and Native American studies.
Monica Delgado, gender studies and psychology.
Natalia Anderson, gender studies and writing and rhetoric studies.
Lucy Bagley, gender studies and applied positive psychology.
Zuleha Ibrahim, disability studies.
Giselle Carino, disability studies.
Marisol Padilla Fagroso, Health Society and Policy with Spanish and Disability Studies minors.
Serena Matson, double major in gender studies and international studies with a minor in sociology.
Bryn Adams, gender studies major, minor in disability studies and ethnic studies.
Camila Francine Flores, ethnic studies with a minor in Spanish.
Ashby, majors in gender studies, ethnic studies, and political science.
Rosemary Vea Fifita, Ethnic Studies with a certificate in Pacific Islander Studies.
Nikki Nielsen, majors in gender studies and English.
Lilibet Seha, Ethnic Studies and Psychology.
Antonio Fierros, Bachelor of Science in Social Work and a Chicano Studies minor.
Indigo Ambrose Mason, double major in Health, Society and Policy and Gender Studies, and minors in Sociology and Political Science.
Aisha Marie Nalder, major in Gender Studies and a minor in Chemistry.
Stephanie Guadalupe Ponce, Ethnic Studies.
Jenny Hobbs, major in Ethnic Studies and a minor in Awesomeness.
Alyssa Blackburn, Ethnic Studies with a minor in Sociology.
Jasmine Gonzalez Dominguez, Bachelor of Science in Social Work and a minor in Ethnic Studies.
Rashana Jones, double major in Psychology and Human Development with a minor in Disability Studies.
Lauren Cordova, Bachelor Bachelor in Gender Studies, and a Bachelor in Biomedical Engineering.
Jocelyn Lopez, double major in ethnic studies and psychology.
All right, if we didn't miss anybody, I just want to say thank you to our graduates, of course, to our faculty as well, and really so wholeheartedly all of the wonderful supporting family and friends that are here. And now, because we want to shower you with just a little more appreciation, the faculty and I will be waiting to send you off at the exit gate with a little box of appreciation. So let's have a last round of applause for these incredible graduates. And now I think we recess.